Yo, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my Season 4 guide for Havoc Demon Hunter. So about a week ago, I went into depth with sims and everything in a video you can check out in the description if that's something you're interested in. Just went through different builds, gear, and trinkets and everything like that. So yeah, link in the description of that. But today I'm going to be going through basically everything that is in this document I made, in case you don't want to listen to me yap, or if you just want to come back to something after watching the video without having to rewatch it. So this is the document. On the left hand side there are titles that you can click and it'll take you to whatever you're looking for. Just click something like Third Bullion buy and it'll just go straight to it. So if you want to check this out, there's also a link in the description to it. I also might add some stuff to it if it comes to mind, or if you guys are wondering anything, leave a comment and I'll try to add it to the document if I can. Also, the UI in the video you see is mine, and it's available for my Twitch subs, patrons, and Discord premium members. It's updated for Season 4, all the class changes and tier sets, all 3 raids, and all of the Dragonflight dungeons, so you can check that out in my Discord if you're interested in that. So I do want to try and make this quick and not waste your guys' time, so let's just get into everything. Alright, so let's look at your first bullion buy. So one option is to just buy Thorncaller. Having a weapon is nice, max item level. But it isn't the best option by a decent amount. Your best option would be to do option 2, buy Anvil, and then loot 2 weapons. Any 2 weapons will work and are better than 1 Thorncaller. You loot 2 weapons and then buy Anvil. You can see in this sim, just 2 regular weapons. I think they're from Neltharis. And then buying Anvil is a decent bit better than having a 528 Thorncaller. I think it's just the way with how stats are scaling this season and like how many stats we have. But yeah, I would just lock yourself in the Knockhood prison and loot 2 Stormslashes and then buy Anvil with your first bullion in the couple days when that comes out. So the reason I'm giving you different options for this is because next week, say you go into the raid and you loot an Anvil, then you don't have to buy an Anvil, obviously, right? Then you can just buy Thorncaller, or you can go with the second buy that I'll recommend, which isn't Thorncaller, but you'll see what it is here in a second. Man, I'm giving you options just in case you loot one of these items, then you don't need to spend a bullion on it, obviously. And here's one thing, this is a different sim that I might be showing later, going through Mythic Plus stuff, but this is a 40-second 5-target sim, and even here, 2 522 Stormslashes is better than a 528 Thorncaller just because of stat scaling, especially in AoE. So Thorncaller is definitely not your best option to, like, don't be hard set on just buying a Thorncaller and calling it a day. You have plenty better options out there to spend your stuff on, especially with the opportunity to get double time. Double time is a bit better than Stormslash. So if you get really lucky and you get one of these, that's definitely your best option. Go double time Stormslash and then buy Anvil for your first one. But yeah, let's move on. So for your second bullion, your first option is to buy a Seal of the Earnest Chosen. And I do kind of recommend this because it's a very rare item and you're not going to see a lot of them, especially with the raids rotating every 3 weeks. So it's going to be pretty hard to get your hands on one of these. So it's probably your best option. But again, you do have other options. So if you bought Thorncaller here, this is what your sim would look like. Again, double Stormslash, Anvil, Seal of the Earnest Chosen is just way better than a Thorncaller. So you can go with the Seal of the Earnest Chosen if you're lucky enough to loot one of these. Obviously you cannot buy this, and then you can go with the second option, which is another trinket. So if you did buy Thorncaller, your second bullion, you should probably buy Anvil if you're not going to buy a Seal of the Earnest Chosen. But I recommend you just don't do that. In case you really want the Thorncaller, I just give you the option of what you should probably do. So if you listen to me, you got yourself 2 Stormslashes, you bought Anvil with your first bullion. Your second bullion, you can either spend it on a brand or a Seal of the Earnest Chosen. The brand is a little bit better, as you can see by the sim. It is a bit better, but again, the rarity. This you're probably just never going to get one of these unless you just buy it. So I recommend just buying this, and your odds of getting a brand are way higher because it's not a very rare item. So we'll move on to the third bullion. I'm not even going to go through this. If you want to go to the document and look through it yourself, you can if you decide to buy a Thorncaller. But again, like I said, I don't recommend it. But I show you what you should probably do if you go ahead and do that. So we'll just look at if you bought an Anvil into a brand or a signet. It's basically you're just going back to the option before and buying the other one that you didn't buy. So your best option here is to buy an Anvil, buy a signet brand, and then buy a Deaner's Chosen. Or you can do the opposite. You can buy an Anvil, then you can buy a Chosen, then you can buy a brand. Like I said, I recommend doing that. Get the ring and then just, wipe it off your list. Or you can go Anvil into brand into Thorncaller, but I recommend the first one. Go Anvil, Anvil, ring, then brand. This is for raid, obviously. For Mythic Plus, you want completely different trinkets, so it gets a bit rough, but I made a list of I made a couple different options of what you could probably do here. So if you don't give a shit about raid, this is what you could do. First one is Ashes, Pips into Seal, and then Ashes Thorncaller into Seal, and then Ashes Thorncaller into Pips. So we'll look at the first one, Ashes, Pips into Seal. This is what our sim looks like. We're doing 40-second 5 target sims with the AoE build, and this is your best option. And then you have Ashes into Thorncaller into Seal. This is with a Grieftorch that I bought from LFR. Significantly worse than just double Stormslash because of stats. And then you have Ashes, Thorncaller into Pips. I messed up the sim. You don't want to do this. Just don't buy a Thorncaller. I have a 528 Thorncaller in here, and there's two 522 Stormslashes, and we don't have a new third item. So just don't buy a Thorncaller. Thorncaller isn't good because you need the stats. Stats are just going to be king this season, and Thorncaller is not going to be better than double Stormslash until you have a lot more gear. So I recommend on just holding off on Thorncaller. Get yourself 2 of these. Yeah, I put it here. Thorncaller sucks, and I put it up here. Do not buy Thorncaller. Go with the second option. Go down here. Go loot 2 weapons and then buy Anvil. And then here I just have some gear that you can look for if you looted any of the previous stuff, and or all of the previous stuff, and you can try and send this stuff yourself. So we have the ring for Broodkeeper. It just gives you a shield off a proc. You have Grieftorch. This is really going to be your best raid trinket if you get an extra use from it. It's going to be better than Anvil. It's going to be better than brand. It's going to be better than everything. That's if you get an extra use on it. Not just a reset, an extra full use in the fight. Should probably change that. If you get 1 extra use, not just proc, or not just reset. Then you have Storm Meter's Boon. This is sketch to play with because it locks you in place. And then I don't think it works with Netherwalk. It might though. I'm not too sure. I'll have to test that out. Does crazy AoE if you want this for Mythic Plus. It's pretty cool. Voice of the Silent Star. No stam, stat proc, Sark Cloak. This is also a very rare item, I think. And it's going to be hard to get. Again, though, it's scary to play with because you lose a lot of HP. So be careful with that. And you have Tainted Rage Heart. It's a good trinket for pushing keys. Gives a big absorb shield and does a lot of damage. Then we have Embellishments. There's nothing too crazy here. You have 2 options. You either go Blue Silken Lining or Toxic Thorn Foot Wraps. Blue Silken Lining is a bit better at 50% uptime. I think, yeah, 50% uptime is a bit better. But the uptime on this is super RNG. Just I wouldn't use it and just go Toxic Thorn Foot Wraps and call it a day. And then for talents, we have a couple different builds here that I put into a sim. This is single target. The first build is like a semi no mover type thing. This sim's basically even with our current build that we play, which is this Essence Break Inertia Throw Glaive type thing. Right now they sim basically the same, but once you get a lot more gear, this no mover type build is just going to be better in pure single target. So yeah, I wouldn't use this build if there's any type of ads. Only use this on like maybe Smolderon, but Smolderon it might not be good because there's a damage amp, and this build here is just going to have better burst damage with the essence break and everything. This is basically going to be your go-to build for 90% of fights. It's the same one we've been playing in Season 3. And then you have the AoE build where you just drop Furious Gaze and go Ragefire. This is like stuff like Primal Council. Anything with a bunch of ads, you should probably play Ragefire. Though you do lose a decent amount single target, so be careful of that. Yeah, I put a talent string thing that you can copy for each build. If you want to just copy those into your character, you can do that. And yeah, if you want me to put some like rotational stuff in here, I'll probably just end up doing that anyways later on, but I'm not going to cover it in the video. But yeah, any questions about what you should buy if you've looted some of this stuff already? Just leave it in the comments and I'll try to help you out. Again, just do not buy Thorncaller with your like first 3 bullions. It's just a waste. Double Stormslash or any weapons, and then trinkets and the ring is just way better. For your 4th bullion, I would probably buy a Thorncaller, because by then you're just going to have a lot of gear and you won't care about losing all the stats from your weapon. But yeah, I think that covers everything. Again, any questions, comments, I'll get to them as fast as I can. And yeah, leave a like, UI for subs, and all that stuff. Discord link in the description, Discord link here, Patreon, everything. Yeah. Till next time. See ya.